is November the 17th. It is 5:06 a.m. in the morning. And of course, you obviously know why I'm reaching out to you this early. And it is to share yet another experience, a beyond body experience that was interesting. It was short, brief, but very interesting. So let me get right into it for you. So I was doing my usual thing. For those of you who know my usual thing, it's studying Spanish, working on different projects. I probably went to bed about 4:30 or so. 4:30 in the morning is what I'm guessing. And I laid down. I had NPR on National Public Radio as I was lying down. I will sometimes listen to that before I get up for work. So I wasn't really thinking, okay, honestly, I was kind of half and half about it. Anytime I put on my iPad, when I put on National Public Radio, I'm thinking that probably it's not going to happen, but it may happen. So I make sure that the volume is turned down enough so that I can kind of focus. So I could kind of hear the noise in the background a little bit. But yeah, I did not use storm sounds. I just had on my iPad in the backdrop. And so I was on my right side lying down. By the way, quick tip for those of you who wonder about this. I've seen this question before about astral projection. People will ask sometimes if they need to be on their back. Do they need to be lying down a certain way? I lie down in whatever way is comfortable for me. And on this occasion, I was lying on my right side, just to let you guys know. After about, I would say, gosh, it was probably about 20 minutes maybe or so, I went into that middle space. And in my mind, I was just like, okay, here we go. And I felt a force moving me, I believe, toward my left and off of my bed. Now, this was a classic beyond body experience. And again, what I like to do real quick or quickly when I do my experiences, when I talk about them, I always like to do a quick explanation of the beyond body, which the biggest difference between the beyond body and astral projection is in astral projection, you do feel a sense of separation. Or I do feel a sense of separation. And, most folks who have astral projection always talk about a sense of separation. But when I do the beyond body, I feel no sense of separation. I feel as if my entire body is in movement. Lately, when I have been in movement, my movement has been shorter. And this may be with more experience. I've been able to transition to places that are really far without going through all this song and dance of going in and into motion and being propelled forward for a really long time. I haven't had to do that lately. Lately, it's just been, I've felt this sense or this force moving me to the left or to the right, and then I go onto the floor and then I'm somewhere just almost immediately. So it has gotten shorter, guys, and I think it is something that's happening with experience. This was definitely shorter. I was in a few seconds able to open my eyes in this particular reality. The darkness lifted, and I was at first I thought I was in a house. And unfortunately, I'm going to give you, I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate, but I'm going to tell you again that this first part of this had to do with animation. I saw these little statuettes or figures. I would say they were figures, almost like action figures that were from. I'm going to date myself with this. People know that I'm in my 50s. So for those of you who remember Hanna-Barbera, remember that Huckleberry Finn or Huckleberry Hound? I'm sorry, not Huckleberry Finn, but Huckleberry Hound, Magilla, Gorilla, those characters. And that's what I was seeing kind of all around me. And I remember I saw those figures and I thought to myself, okay, remember this by thinking of Hanna-Barbera. So that's what I thought of, Hanna-Barbera, because those are the characters that I saw. In fact, I remember seeing Huckleberry Hound. That was one of the characters I saw that I was kind of focused on, but there were other characters around Huckleberry Hound, which was really weird. Then I looked over past the statuettes, and there was a small I don't know how to really, I'm not sure how to really describe this for you guys. It was like a some kind of device, a round device. It was smaller, and projecting up from this round device was a perfect 3D projection of an older woman with like a dress on, and it was amazing because it was a perfect animated projection, 3D projection that was coming up from this. And I was just staring at it. And for some reason, I don't know why, I thought it might have been alive. I said hi to it. Now, it did not respond, at least that I could hear. There was no response. But after I said hi, it was so sudden. Suddenly, I was among a bunch of people, and I was outside. I was not inside anymore. And oh my God, there were so many people. There could have been hundreds, maybe thousands. I don't know if there could be thousands, but there were so many people I couldn't see. And I couldn't see the magnitude, the actual magnitude. I wasn't able to see it. The other thing, guys, was that I was having difficulty getting up again. Now, in one of my previous experiences, I talked about having a difficulty. In fact, in my last experience, the one I didn't tell you about on another occasion, the really short experience where I felt and I experienced temperature and all these other things, I was talking about how I was having a lot of difficulty getting up. It was like I was sitting on my butt and I could not get up. It was just really, really weird. I had the same difficulty here. And my theory continues to be that this has to do with the fact that I may have arrived so quickly that my vibrational frequency did not match with my surroundings. Now, remember, I talked to you about this. Vibrational frequency, in my belief, equals reality. So whatever your vibrational frequency matches is your reality. So what I think happened is I arrived in this place. It was very quick, and I wasn't quite up there. I was close maybe, but I wasn't quite, I hadn't quite matched up or reached that vibrational frequency yet. So I wasn't able to stand. And I remember I was scooting around again, and I was thinking, oh, but then I stopped, guys. I stopped because I thought, okay, It's going to be a moment. Just let it happen. Just let my vibrational frequency match with the surroundings, and I'm going to be able to stand up. Now, within a few moments, I was able to do it. I was able to actually stand up. It took some effort, but I was actually able to stand up. Then I started looking around. You know what this sort of reminded me of, this area that I was in with all of these people? It was like a market of some sort. That's what it reminded me of. There were people everywhere. And I think there were people shopping in this market. But then I also thought, and I'm just kind of going completely here off my memory, guys. I thought I saw like homes of some sort, but if they were homes, they were in a shape that I cannot describe to you. I know I did see people, but the shape of whatever these places were, their shape, what they appeared to be, it's not registering in my mind as something that I can put into words. This tells me that I was really far off wherever I was, because my mind, now thinking about it, I don't think I have a translation for a lot of the architecture and the things that I saw. There's no translation for it. This is, you know what? I don't find this to be quite that unusual, though, because I believe there are a lot of things, especially things that are way, way out there, that are difficult for us to explain or to put into any language in the 3D world. So whatever I was seeing, it was very difficult to put into words, but I kept quiet as I was looking around. I kind of kept to myself. You know, there was a lot of people, and I was like, okay, I don't know this world. I don't know these people. I thought about maybe asking someone something. I really did. I thought about it, but I thought against it. I thought, well, you know, I'm just going to explore. I'm just going to see. Then I started going towards a specific area, and I thought to myself, I'm going to see if I can fly, because it's one of the things I like to test in these realities. And lately, when I've gone to these realities, I've always been able to fly. This time, I ran up and then I leaped into the air. Now, as I was leaping, someone took my arm just for a moment. They weren't able to hold on to it, but I did see who it was. It was a kid. He could have been Arabic. I'm pretty sure he was Middle Eastern. He had dark hair. He had dark brown skin. And when he took my hand, I slipped away from him, and I was already up in the air. I guess I went up pretty strong. And then I kept going up, and I was thinking to myself, I wonder who that kid was. Part of me was a little startled, I have to admit to you. I was like, you know, who is this? But I was able to get up in the air. I don't think, by the way, guys, that this kid was meaning me any harm. He wasn't trying to hold on to me aggressively. It may just have been a thing, a being that wanted to connect with me. And unfortunately, I went into the air. Now, as soon as I went up into the air, I returned back to the 3D world. That's another thing that tells me that maybe I should have remained on the ground, because maybe with this connection that didn't happen, maybe I would have discovered more about this world. But this is a learning experience. All of this is always a learning experience for me, and I hope that you're able to gain something from my experiences as well. Thank you so much for coming on another journey with me, and until next time, take care.